Alright, how's it going, guys? It's been a while. We had a stream finally the other day, which got cut into two parts. I will link it as normal, so you will have two different parts for it. And in the stream, we moved these guys down, so now they're nice and at eye level. And they're hooked up to the diesel engines. You can see they turn on when they have something to do. This one's actually full on hydrochloric acid at the moment, so it won't be turning on. But this will just turn our sulfur dioxide into sulfur trioxide and then into sulfuric acid as we need it. We also went through and put the on-off switches like on the CO2 here, so you can see it's not completely full. The tank outside isn't full any longer. And so this is now hooked up and good to go. This one's been hooked up for a while, but let's see. Railgar, why are you in here? You're supposed to be roasted, not electrolyzed. That's why you're not doing anything. Alright, so I'll work that out later. We also made a compartment drawer here that is connected to the crafting table, so anything that is in here will fill the recipes that are over here. Like if I'm making a recipe that needs steel plates and I have steel plates in here. Sorry, had to sneeze for a minute. And I have steel plates in here. It'll use them up. It will not put them back. So when you hit this button, it's going to put them into here rather than back into here. It only fills what you've done or what you need for a recipe that you've already done one of. So it's similar to the bottom, except it won't ever put anything back. It just fills it. And it'll work on all 6 sides. Well, you can't put it on the top, obviously, but you can put it next to it on either side. You can put them on the back, and it'll work that way. And the other thing we did was we made a few machines. And the first one we're going to set up is a electrolyzer, or sorry, a polarizer and a magnetic separator. So for this, we're going to need a Invar diesel engine, and this will be our first magnetic machine. So we're going to be putting 64 RU out from our diesel engine into our electric dynamo LV, which will give us 44 EU, and then that will be going into an electric magnet, which will be giving us approximately 28, I think, somewhere in there, MU. We could do 32 with a diesel engine, which would give us 22 EU, and then the 22 EU would give us probably like maybe 12, but that wouldn't be enough for what we need. So we have to go with the Invar diesel engine. And what we're going to be using that for is magnetic separating our sluice sand here that we've been collecting. So if we look at the recipe here for the sluice sand, we're going to go ahead and go over to the full block. It is going to give us a lot of stone dust, obviously, but then it's also going to give us tiny piles of actual iron, not hematite, 2 chances at 58% each. Then it also has a 58.32 for niobium, the same for a tiny pile of nickel, tiny pile of cobalt, and tiny pile of manganese. So the cobalt is going to be really nice because we're saving a lot of our cobalt that we get for trying to get cobalt 60 later on down the road for use for a nuclear fuel. Manganese and nickel needed obviously for stainless steel. Iron used for everything. And then neodymium we won't really need until we get to like EV and higher. It's used for like the compact motors. But this is our other option for processing sluice juice, where when you do the sluice juice in the centrifuge up here, you get copper, tin, zinc, antimony, and chromium. So you actually get everything you need to make stainless steel if you do both centrifuge and magnetic separating, along with cobalt and neodymium. But we're going to set this up. Just so you know, I'm in the snapshot. Don't think I changed all my pipes over to be copper nickel or Constantine. That's actually the new color of copper. I absolutely hate it. I've been grumping at Greg ever since I seen it. He doesn't like my grumping, but, well, when does Greg ever like my grumping? We're going to put it over here. I am going to leave a little bit of room, so I think we're going to put it here. So we're going to need that going up, and then that will be going into, actually, no, hold on. Let's see, I think we're going to do this sideways, actually. We're going to do it like that. And then we'll have the dynamo there. We'll put the electromagnet there. And we need the electromagnet to go this way. So we have a north pole and a south pole. And if pick this back up a second and you look at it, it says efficiency is 100%. Now the efficiency for 100% is only if you're running both poles. If you're only running one, it's 50% efficiency. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to put our polarizer on one face and our magnetic separator on the other. Now the problem being the polarizer can take power from top and bottom. The magnetic separator cannot. It can only take it from the top. So magnetic separator is going to go there. The polarizer will go there. Most of the time that the magnetic separator is going to be running, it's going to be running at 50% because there's going to be nothing for the polarizer that it needs to do. And we'll just have a pipe coming in here to pipe in our sand. Just so you know, There are other things you can do in here, which I really need to go through this list again at some point, because Greg has changed a lot of these recipes somewhat recently. Trying to find something that we actually have that we can run through here. So basaltic black sand, you can get red sand, gabbro, gold, copper, and nickel. So if you find it and you don't need the iron out of it, which you can get a little bit of iron out of the red sand, not anywhere near what you get out of the block of it, but you need gold, copper, nickel, you could always run it for this. And the gabbro is, well, junk. The bastonite stuff you can throw in here if you need to get a little extra neodymium out of it. And then you get a 6% chance of getting everything back from it. I think one of the main ones that I've ran through these in the past is pyrolusite. So pyrolusite is going to give you 6% chance at 8. You get 18 chances at 6% each of bromagnerite, chromite, and then pyrolusite as well. So it's similar to the centrifuge, or the sluice, sorry, where you you can get back some of extra of the main resource as well as the extra stuff. It used to be a guaranteed, if I remember correctly. It's been quite a while. Where now it's just a whole lot of chances. So it's kind of guaranteed at this, pretty close. But bromagnerite, chromite, where if you threw this into the centrifuge, you would only have a 10% chance at bromagnerite, hematite, and chromite. So you could get hematite out of it, but you'd have, I do believe that's less of a chance, and you wouldn't have the extra of the main pyrolusite either. So, like I said, I'm going to go through these recipes, and we may set up a filter to send things past the centrifuge and on over here to the magnetic separator. We're going to set up a possible on both of these. And then we're going to take the magnet here, which we're actually going to stick up here. And we're going to put a emit cover going this direction. We're going to put a accept cover going that direction and that direction. We're going to make another one here. I'll make about 5 more, just make sure we got plenty. We'll use a lot of these, so. Alright, so it needs to accept from the top and from the bottom. So we can put another accept there. And then we can take this, stick it back in place there. And then we're going to go ahead and take this off for a moment. And we're going to put a emit on there, so it'll send redstone back. And then we need a redstone machine switch on there, And that will turn this on when either one of those give it a signal that it needs to be turned on. So that should work just right. Alright, so I'm going to need to get both of those cut out. And I'm going to use my new pause function. And I'm going to pause for a second, set up all the piping, and I'll be right back with you. Alright, so I think I got this all piped up good now. First thing we're going to do, we're going to test it out on this long iron rod, which up until this point, if we wanted to magnetize these, we would have to do this shapeless recipe where we would use 8 redstone and magnetize it. Well, now with a polarizer, which I really need to get a chest on the side of this, you'll see it'll turn it on and it'll polarize it for us, magnetize it for us, and won't cost us any redstone. Just a little bit of power. And as you can see, my floor is an absolute mess here. I'm gonna have to change this around, cover things up a bit, but you'll see everything turned off as soon as it was done. I've got this pipe here, which actually the reason why I had that block out is I wanted to set this that direction so it's not sticking out the front. And I'll get some marble covers and cover all this up, make it look nicer. But I've also got that pipe running over to here, which we can now take the monkey wrench, give it a good whacking, and that will then send everything over here, which will come out through this pipe and go through our system. Now I'm hoping that the stone dust will go the right direction and go over there. It absolutely should. But I think what we're going to do, because it's going to put out, I think it was 9 stone dust, which is 1 gravel, is I may end up putting another barrel in here, which you can see I need to get this one changed because it still thinks it's stone dust instead of gravel, which was changed recently. But the pipe comes down right here, and it'll have choice of going through all of that or coming back through here and dropping off into one of those. And so it should definitely see the stone dust as closer than the final destination box over there. So that should work out just fine. We will see what happens. This is, because we're doing blocks, a very slow process. There is the first one done. And now we can come down here and check the box. And we have no stone dust. So, yep, that worked perfectly fine. Although, for some reason, that got down here, which most definitely shouldn't have. That normally only happens if the box for the sluice here is full, which it most definitely isn't. So, not quite sure why that happened. But, that gets all of that done and tidied up. Like I said, I'm going to clean this up, make it look a little nicer with some covers. We also, in the live stream, moved the calcite, wood pulp, redstone, glowstone off of this line because I found out I had platinum that actually was not on the elemental line. And we also have, I think it's neodymium is back here that needs to get moved up there as well. I still want to get a little bit better area for this, but hopefully in the next live stream that I hopefully will be able to do this weekend, we have somebody coming again to look at the internet, which I am quite sure will not fix the problem, because I do believe the problem is not on our end, it's on the cable company's end. But I have to have the technician come out to make sure of it. But hopefully everything will be sorted out and I can stream again this weekend, and we can get some more stuff taken care of. Like this hole here has been left for us to put a sifter system in. We need to get some better sorting for all of this stuff, and pretty soon, now that we have filters and all that stuff, we're going to start actually using up a lot of that up there in a couple different baths, one of which we have an electrolyzer in here. The polarizer we actually just, or the magnetic rod we just got done doing, is going to be used to make part of the electrolyzer setup we have here. I've got all the parts right here so we can set it up, and our next video will be setting up another electrolyzer similar to that one, but it is going to be for getting rid of the sodium and potassium bisulfite. So we will get into what all that's going to be in the next one. Hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions, comments, concerns about the polarizer and the magnetic separator system we have over there, let me know, and I will try to get these videos out a bit more often. I like to do the streaming thing when we prep, which is why I haven't been doing this, because things have been really hectic around here, and internet being a pain in the butt has kind of taken away a bit of my motivation of doing streams at the moment. You'll notice we haven't had a whole lot of them, because it's really disconcerting when you're trying to stream and you got to keep trying to troubleshoot why the internet's acting up, and it doesn't do any good if I'm trying to show you guys something and, well, you don't get to see it because the internet keeps buffering. So if it gets to the point where I can't do it, I will try to just do these videos without the prep streams, but I really like doing those. It's nice to be able to interact with you guys about what we're planning on before we actually do it. Now that we're in the snapshot for the new version, I can get back to doing the single block recipe, or the single block machine tutorials. I'll show you guys the reason why they actually stopped. If we look up copper, and we look up a regular copper wire here, and the way to make it, in a wire mill, it will cost 256 RU for 16 ticks, where in an extruder, it will cost you, let's get to the twos. There we go, that'll work. All of them are the same. It'll cost you 1,024 at 64 ticks. So originally, when I was going to do the video for this, there was a bug where the wire mill, rolling mill, all of these machines, which are meant to be your go-to for wiring, making plates out of ingots, curving the plates. That is supposed to be the go-to cheapest way, kind of like the crucible is for the smelter. Same for these machines. The extruder is meant to be a convenience, so it is meant to be more expensive. Well, when Greg had changed the recipes for furnaceable, made more things furnace smeltable, he lowered the requirement in the electrolyzer or in the extruder, but not in the other machines. So it is now the way it should be. This is 4 times more expensive than those machines because it's convenient. So I can go back and get those videos done, although there will be a caveat in the video that if you're not using the version that I am using, it will be different. So if you've been using your electrolyzer, you may want to get ready to start using these, because I just said electrolyzer again, didn't I? Extruder for making wires and plates and stuff, you may want to get used to using those because it will be changing. And that is only for the low heat stuff. Anything that is high heat was already that way ahead of time. So this thing has stopped, which means my CO2 is full because I did not hook that up yet. So I'm going to go get that ran. I will talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Take it easy. I'll see you next time.